Welcome to the Caravan Show, where we discuss all things caravans. That's right, everything you need to know about caravans, from weights, towing, maintenance, appliances, renovations, buying a caravan, repairs, destinations and reviews. We'll also chat with some Aussie legends, manufacturers, suppliers and of course people who love caravans. Take it away, Roy.
G'day, it's Roy at the Caravan Show and podcast once again. Now, right now I've got Ruth Butterfield on the line. Now, Ruth is the Mayor of Armadale over in Western Australia. Welcome on the show, Ruth.
Thank you for having me.
Ruth, how long have you been Mayor?
Oh, about 9 months now.
Okay, so relatively new into the job. How did you end up becoming the Mayor?
Well, I became the Mayor at the last election and unfortunately went straight into the COVID panic, and it's been a bit of a wild ride.
Yeah, baptism of fire, I'll say. Not a good start. But what got you into the politics in the first place? Were you on the council, or did you suddenly decide, look, I've had enough, I want to get out there and be heard, and I think we need to do something? What's your motive?
Oh, look, honestly, I've been on council for about 15 years, and I first got into local government because I did see things in the area that I really believed I wasn't alone in wanting some change in the area and some, it starts off small. You want a footpath, you want some trees planted or whatever it is that you desire for your community, and then that passion grows and you can see where you can help in other ways, and it just grows and grows and grows. And once you have a few wins on the board, you really, you just don't look back.
You get driven, don't you? Are you a local girl, Ruth?
I am. I have been born and raised in the area. I did go away for a good few years, but I have come back to nest, so to speak, in the city of Armadale and in the foothills, where I was raised, because it's just such a wonderful place to visit and to raise children and to grow old. It's a really beautiful spot.
We find a lot of people in councils that have got local businesses or have had local businesses. Is that the case with you? Have you got a local business, or have you been in business locally?
No, I must be one of the rare ones then. I was a teacher. I'm not a teacher now that I'm a mayor. The job is too big to be able to work as well. No, I've never had a business or a small business or anything like that. So, no, my background is teaching and the arts, and so no business experience.
Well,
However, I am a great supporter of our local businesses, and I do and I understand entirely how our local businesses add to the fabric of our society and our local economy, and add that interesting layer of experiences that people can have in the area.
Well, 15 years of being involved in the management of a shire is a pretty big deal anyway, so we'll chalk it up as business experience in managing an entire region, which is, say, that in itself is a big deal. So tell us a bit about your region. Just before we got on air, we were talking about the size, and I think we established that it's around the 500 square kilometres, so it's a fairly big region. But you're not. Sorry to interrupt you, Roy.
Yeah, no, that's just the city of Armadale area that I look after. Yep. However, the region across the scarp of the hills here is of course a lot bigger, and the Perth Hills trails and visitation area is a lot larger than that. So the sightseeing and opportunities for travel around the area is a lot larger than that.
So what are the major centres within the Armadale region?
Well, we've got Armadale itself, which is a regional centre, and then we've got smaller towns such as Kalamunda and Serpentine of Byford, Serpentine Jarradale. So there's a good range of smaller towns in the area where that are, for all intents and purposes, little cities in themselves. But I'd say that nowhere near as large as over east, the larger towns. So there are a range of centres that you can go to get whatever you need and Yeah,
And
have
of
day
course,
trips there.
you're not that far out of the major city of Perth, are you?
Well, we're only 30 minutes, 26 minutes from my particular spot here in Kelmscott, in the foothills of Perth. So 30 minutes to Armadale. Train line, if you wanted to come down to Armadale and stay with your van, it's only 30 minutes on the train. Actually, I think it's less on the train if you use the train. Traffic is 30 minutes, but in a car. But yeah, we're very close to the main city of Perth. Yes.
So if we jump in a caravan and we travel to the region, what are we going to find by way of caravan parks and facilities?
Most of the caravan parks are for long-term residents, but we do have a few that are available for day trippers or coming and having parking for a while, tourism sort of style. So we've got Hillside Garden Village, which is only 6 minutes out of the centre of Armadale, so it's very, very close.
What about free camp and farm stays?
Yeah, we've got farm stays and free camping. There is some at Jarradale, which is a little bit further out of Perth, so that's down the road a wee bit. And they've got short stay. I don't think they've got camping though. So certainly for short stay and RVs, they've got availability there.
What makes up your local economy? Are you rich in some sort of manufacturing, or what actually? Yeah, what drives the whole economy for Armadale?
Well, fortunately, we're on the sort of hills and the scarp. So if you're looking for sort of tourism experiences and economic drivers as well, we have orchards all through Rollystone, Carragullen, out into Pickering Brook, and so we've got cideries. But the local economy is quite diverse, so we've got a lot of small businesses, home businesses, and obviously in the centre of Armadale, it's like much the same as any other town, with shopping centres and office employment, that sort of thing. So the centre of Armadale is much the same as any other small city. But the outskirts have been agribusiness, and traditionally that's been, as we look back into the past, that's been the driver of the economy in this particular area, and those agribusinesses are still in operation in the form of orchards. I know that we've got cherry orchards, and a lot of export goes out of those areas in the hills. Exports overseas, they're a fantastic place.
Yeah, I was going to ask you more about the orchard. So you got cherries. What other sort of produce are coming off your trees?
We've got apples, pears. I think mostly they're apples at the moment, but peaches and avocados are very, very popular because they're not affected by fruit fly, and avocados are. Everyone loves an avocado, smashed avocados. Is that the way that we like to have them these days?
seems to be the popular thing in the cafes, doesn't it? Smashed avos.
Yeah, that's right. So it's avocado orchards, and there are persimmons. There's a really large variety of fruit up there. So,
and you sense you've got ciders being produced in the area.
Yes, that's right. It seems to be the new microbreweries, and cideries are a fantastic sort of way of using produce in the area and actually giving a value adding to the produce, I guess. It has been difficult, I know, for some of the growers over time to make their businesses work with sort of cheaper imports into Australia, and also the expense of exporting. So cideries and microbreweries seem to be a very popular way of using produce in the area and value adding.
Yes, hopefully we'll have learned our lessons, at least in part, over our importation of product, and hopefully Australia get the notion that maybe we should be doing more internal manufacturing, more internal agriculture, less importing, and of course let's stop travelling overseas. Well, you can't anyway, but if you're not going to be able to travel overseas, let's start really looking at a regional census for travelling. If you're living in the Perth region, of course, you're just literally on the doorstep. They don't need to travel for hundreds or thousands of kilometres to go camping, because you're right there. We don't need to go that far. While Western Australia's got its borders closed, it's a real good time to start looking on your own back garden, isn't it?
Oh, it's a fabulous time. It really, unfortunately for people who've suffered COVID, it's a horrible thing. But it is a chance for us to sort of take stock and start to look around our own backyards and looking into WA, coming and staying in Armadale and the surrounds, visiting the Perth Hills, taking day trips or even staying overnight. It can be a fabulous, fabulous place to visit.
So let's talk a bit about those day trips. Ruth, what sort of day trips are we talking? Do you have museums or places of interest like that to go and see?
In our region, yes, certainly we have museums. We've got historical buildings. We have got the most wonderful bush. We've got waterfalls, at least 3 waterfalls in the Perth Hills, Armadale region. So whatever your interests might be, we have something for everybody. So there is, if you want to see koalas, we have Kahunu Koala Centre down in Jarradale. We have got the Armadale Reptile Centre. If you would like to see old churches, we have a few of those. We have got the Schuenstadt Shrine just out of Armadale, which is a replica of a shrine, I believe, from Germany. A beautiful spot, and if you stay until the sun is going down and have a look at the sun setting over the city and over the plains, and you can also watch the kangaroos come out. Wild kangaroos just come to the area and eat the grass around the shrine, and it is absolutely stunning.
Yeah, a lot of people are getting into the photography, and there's just so many magnificent places to go and magnificent things to see. But getting close and personal to wild animals is, not altogether that easy. But somewhere like what you're talking about here at the shrine, they can actually see them and get down there on their hands and knees and get some good shots. Of course, we recommend they don't touch the animals, don't we?
That's right. I think them being wild, they've not been hand-fed, so they don't get, you couldn't actually touch them.
Yeah.
However, the kangaroos are used to being around humans, and if you did want kangaroo shots, there's also the Araluen golf course, which in the evenings the kangaroos come out there, and it is a beautiful spot to visit, which is up in the hills in Rolling Stone. So go up Croydon Road, and then you can go onto the golf course, and it's a public course. It does have beautiful homes around it, surrounding the course, and if you can go for a wander around there and perhaps take your golf club and have a bit of a hit about as well on the green and watch the kangaroos, take photographs. It's a truly beautiful spot to visit as well.
What about pubs and clubs in the area?
We have pubs. We don't have clubs, I don't think. We've got not nightclubby things. It's more of a family sort of a feel to the area. So if you're looking for pubs, we've got the Elizabethan pub, which is a ye olde replica of an old English pub, I guess, and then it's got a little Shakespearean village right near it. So beautiful lawns to go and have a lunch. And if you like the quaint old English pub feel, it's a lovely spot, lots of character.
So is there things like fishing and boating and that sort of stuff available in the area?
Look, fishing would be in season, and that would be not really. I mean, it'd have to be in season. We've got some rivers and dams, and so not really boating as such. And fishing would have to be with a license and in season.
Yeah, but of course it doesn't really matter that much because they've only got to do that hop, skip and jump into the Perth region, and it's all available there. They can even get out there in the into the ocean, can't they? Without having to travel that far,
Very close to the sea, yeah, that's right. So it'll be 30 minutes from the sea as well. So if people did come and stay here, that they could day trip out to the ocean and fish all they like.
Yeah, because it sounds like a really good location to go and park yourself up, and then you can get out to all those beautiful areas like Mandurah, Cockburn, Cannington. It's all sort of within shooting distance of Armadale. So
that's right. They're
it's
all very
short
drives away or short train trips away, and certainly visiting and bringing a van to the Perth Hills, Armadale it's a great spot to be situated, but it's also a great spot to visit if you're parked somewhere else and have a car. But I would suggest coming to the Armadale Visitor Centre and actually picking up some brochures, and they are very well equipped to let people know where all of the options, all of the sightseeing spots are. We've got walking trails, Wollongong Regional Park, Bungendore Park, Settlers Common, Araluen Botanic Park. Our natural scenery and our walking trails are world class, and if people can actually come down and have a visit, they really will go away surprised and enchanted with the area.
Sounds beautiful.
It really is. And I would suggest bring your binoculars and bring your camera. We have got some wonderful spots here for photography. The birds are amazing, and I'm just sitting here in my lounge at the moment, listening and watching them out my front window. You don't have to come to my place to see them, though. They are everywhere. So splendid fairy wrens, the little blue wrens, robin redbreast, the big black cockatoos. We have so many beautiful birds, and the fact that they are everywhere means that you get fantastic shots available all the time. So you don't have to go far. You don't have to wait long in these bushland settings, and they will be on your doorstep.
There you go. So you bird photographers, there's something pretty spectacular just outside of Perth in Armadale, and you can go and see all these magnificent, beautiful little birds. Ruth, putting you on the spot, because I do it with everyone, so don't feel too special about it, we're looking for something a little bit unique, a little bit out of the way, a secret that locals know about that's not generally found on Google or places like that. Have you got a couple of secrets you can share with us? Things people could do or see or go to that isn't mainstream?
Yes, I probably do. Shall I give away the secrets?
Yeah, please. We are special listeners. We really are.
Okay. Well, one of my favourites is a place called Rolly Pool, and that's on the Canning River, but it's in Rolly Stone. So I guess you would have to actually type that in and have a look. But you can go there and park. There are then walk trails along the river, and it is absolutely spectacular. Or you can drive around to the other section, which is called the Thompson Road walk trail, and same thing. So flat rocks for you to get out onto the river, and then cascading water. It's a spiritual, beautiful, wonderful place to connect with nature.
So you mentioned before about the information centre. Whereabouts is that, by the way?
That's in Armadale, right on the main street, Joel Street, Armadale, and it's an older style building. A bit of character to it, and big sign out the front, and you can have a look at some of the heritage of the area while you're there. So there's a museum right by it. There is parking for caravans just outside the door as well on the main street. Very easy to access, and then you pick up your brochures and go wild in the area.
Ruth, you've been fantastic. Look, we really appreciate your time. I know it is a busy job that you've got there as Mayor, and taking out the time to talk to our listeners is just fantastic. We really appreciate it. We know that we do need these regional centres to be well catered and looked after. We do need the visitors there. We do need the tourists. We do need the caravanners to go there. You've got a wonderful opportunity right now to get off your butts, get out there and enjoy it. You don't need to wait for everything to come off lockdown. You know, go and have a look in your back garden, because there's some magnificent things to see literally on your doorstep. And when this all opens up, then we can get all the interstaters come in and go and have a look at that as well. But right now, if you're living in that region and you haven't been and explored and spent some money in Armadale, well, you really should. And as Australians, we promote well, don't we?
We do. And if people haven't been to Armadale for a while, they really should come and see us now. They would be gobsmacked at how beautiful the place is. So we've managed to retain trees in our city centre, and this is the ideal time to come and see it.
And we're COVID-free, guys.
We are clean and sweet.
Good stuff. Ruth, fantastic. Thanks so much.
Thanks very much.
Catch you on the flip side.
See you, boy.